Today is March 23rd, 2024, and my daughter and I are headed to the town of New Madrid in the state of Missouri. New Madrid sits on an earthquake fault, and between 1811 and 1812, a series of earthquakes were centered there that were so strong they're said to have caused the Mississippi River to flow backwards. I released a vlog on Reelfoot Lake in Tiptonville, Tennessee a couple of months ago about nesting eagles at Reelfoot Lake. Reelfoot Lake used to be a forest, but after the New Madrid earthquakes, part of the ground sunk and the trees were underwater, forming what is now Reelfoot Lake. I wanted to visit the place where this event occurred. Now, another reason I wanted to visit is to see what earthquake information they have, as I live in Tennessee, which sits on a part of that New Madrid fault line. There have been predictions for years that another big quake was coming to our area. If you can't make it to New Madrid or New Madrid on your own, come along with me, Globee, as I visit this historic town. We just left the rest area, and the ladies there were full of information. They also reminded us to visit Lambert's Cafe, which is the home of the Thrown Rolls in Sykeston, if we became hungry. I've been to that restaurant before, and we may very well stop there. One very important piece of information she gave us was that there have been at least 64 earthquakes of a small nature in this area so far this year. I repeat, 64 earthquakes so far this year, and this is just March. Oh my goodness. This is definitely a very active seismic area. Well, we made it to the museum. As I understand it, this museum is a former saloon. I'm sure if walls could talk, they would have some very interesting tales to tell. Let's go inside and see what they have.
Living in the New Madrid area were awakened by loud cracking and popping noises. Their houses began to creak, and unsupported structures like chimneys began to fall. The household furniture was being thrown about as the fearful inhabitants ran outside to escape the falling debris. Many of them stayed outside, shivering in the night air as aftershocks continued to terrorize them and make their houses unsafe to return to. Daylight brought more tremors and more shocks, some as severe as the first initial shock. Shocks continued throughout the entire day of December 16th and into December 17th. After the nightmare of the earthquake, area inhabitants seeking shelter in what buildings were still standing, or making do with what shelter was available and away, they thought, from the danger, often were left homeless again when the new tremors destroyed what was left of the buildings. But as the smaller tremors continued, people became accustomed to them, and life
Okay, so we're going to simulate an earthquake of level 3.
3.
3.
What? Okay, 3.
Push the button. And you can see it moving. This is how the earth would move. Okay, just go up. Oh my God, that's a level 4 earthquake.
This is what we get.
Oh my goodness. Level 5. Don't want. Oh my goodness. Alright, that's it. We're not gonna go higher. Total destruction. this is beautiful. Beautiful overlook. Cannot imagine standing near here and seeing this huge Mississippi River flowing backwards. And this is the owl. What happened to the owl? Something happened to the owls. The owls were formed by the earthquakes. I see two of them. And they built the levee up, hoping to keep water from ever flooding again in this small town. This information board tells of the earthquakes of 1811 through 1812 and tells how some of the shocks were felt as far away as 1,100 miles. This side of the sign tells of how the town was named for Madrid, Spain. I sometimes say New Madrid, and then sometimes I say New Madrid, but I think the locals call it New Madrid, Missouri.
I asked you if you want to.
the historic Hickerson School. It's a one-room schoolhouse. There was one teacher who taught grades 1 through 8, and the school remained in operation teaching grades 1 through 8 until 1968. I repeat, one teacher for grades 1 through 8 until 1968. I could not find how many children attended in a particular year. Unfortunately, the school was closed on the day of our visit. There was a fence around the school, and this sign says that for many years, livestock roamed the open range around the Hickerson Landing community, and the Hickerson School and its 1-acre yard were forced to protect the yard from the livestock. Instead of a gate, the children entered and exited the yard by crossing the fence on a stile similar to the one constructed here. I bet the children had fun running up and down these steps. Let's see if we can walk around the back and see what they have at the back. This is a nice sized playground and beautiful trees. We really enjoyed our time in New Madrid and learned a lot about the earthquakes of 1811 through 1812. We wanted to stroll along the Riverwalk, but it was cold and 43 degrees. The wind was blowing really hard. We will return and view some of the historic homes and perhaps the cemetery. The fee for the museum was $5 for adults. Well, now it's time for us to cross the Mississippi River and watch the sunset as we cross that Tennessee line. Get out and enjoy the areas in and around where you live. You'll be glad you did. C'est la vie. Enjoy.